patiently waiting for the arrival of spring and the nicer weather so I can make excuses and spend all of my time in the walled garden talking to my vegetables. You do that, right? Until then, I'll be here. Now that I've decided on the paint colors in this salon, I can continue with the ceiling work. Next to sanding, this is my least favorite thing to do, but once it's done, it looks amazing and I feel a sense of accomplishment. This will be my second ceiling. I did the ceiling in our center hallway, and that was a bit more complicated because we had to move the scaffolding on the steep steps. This job will be much easier.
I'm going to try to remove this, which I don't know what it's called actually. I want to remove it and strip the paint off. You know, Amanda had painted the doors black, just to make sure that black was what she wanted. And these had been painted many, many times before the black, so it didn't really matter adding another coat. But I need to get the paint off the screw heads, then try to remove it without ruining anything.
And then what about the lock mechanism that you're good at doing?
Yeah, I might be able to do that without even removing it.
Yeah, you've done a few in the past where you just scraped it with a knife and it didn't scratch the...
No, you just have to be very careful not to scratch, but I've done it enough times.
So you're having a bit of a problem removing...
Well, one of the screws won't turn. I don't want to strip. It's so easy to strip out the head of a slotted screw.
Right.
You know, it just has the slot, not Phillips.
Ooh, not working?
I don't think so. Well, I got all the screws loose, finally. There was one that was really fighting me all the way, but I managed to get it loose. So now I'm going to remove everything. See, this one, that screw got kind of mangled, but it doesn't matter because we've got lots of screws in the basement.
So I don't know that any of these mechanisms, these door, what are they called? Door hardware.
Yeah.
The door hardware, I don't think we have any that are in their original state.
Yeah, and actually the ones that are the cleanest looking are the ones in the Grand Salon, and they look like they were painted faux bois. So
yeah,
maybe it was just when they put everything up, they painted it.
So we're gonna see what it looks like in its original state. We're gonna do this one as a test.
There we go.
Okay, so you got it all.
Yeah, that's wood there. See, there was no paint. There was no paint under it. Okay.
So you're going to try to take off a bit of the paint just so we can see.
Yeah.
So we can see what it looks like and make a decision.
So I'll try and do a little work on this and see what it comes out like. Well, I took it apart and tried to take the paint off. Mm-hmm. Discovered that the knob itself is brass. That's the only thing that's brass. You can see how it's going into here. This is steel, I guess, all of this.
So this top portion is brass as well?
No, it's not. I think it's steel.
Oh, really? So do you think these were meant to be painted then?
Well, they were originally painted faux bois. You can see it on there. Because that room was wood paneling, unpainted, when the house was built. So they did these just like the ones for this room.
Right, so this entire Grand Salon is wood paneled, and then the shutters and the mechanisms for the windows were all painted faux bois.
Right. And the hinges on the shutters too. The ones on the doors over there coming into this room have it also. Oh yeah, all the many coats of paint came off in, all together in one thick layer. And the faux bois paint, actually, most of it's still on there. That's whatever they used. It was pretty,
Yeah, that's interesting.
pretty sturdy stuff.
And we're going to need to decide how to paint the steel parts. I mean, obviously,
Right.
this is beautiful brass, and we'll keep that. But do we, do the paint? Perhaps a brass color.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
If it doesn't look tacky, you didn't need any paint stripper.
No, I was just using a teeny tiny screwdriver I have that I've used for taking paint off before, and it just, especially when there are a bunch of layers and it's thick, it comes off pretty easily. It's slow going doing it this way because you don't want to scratch anything. You just have
Exactly.
to be very careful.
I've just been having the worst technical issues today, and it's all my fault. I thought I pressed the record button, and it turns out I've been standing here for like 15 minutes trying to say the same stuff. So anyway, I'm here in the orchard in front of one of our barns. You can see behind me the mess. And I thought I'd come out and tackle this before things just get out of control. We're heading into spring, and trees will be blooming, brambles will be brambling. I was going to try to use the brush cutter with the blade attachment, but the machine is just too heavy for me. I don't think I could even maneuver it that well. And Lincoln isn't in any position to be using any kind of machinery right now with his shoulder. So I'm going to just make a little bit of headway here. I just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Trying to get this done before the rain comes. I'm uncovering all of these brambles and there's a giant piece of stone here. So it's clearly part of something. And then over here, beneath all these brambles, which hopefully I can get to, there's a big long stone. See what this is. I don't think we can move it. It looks really heavy. But I'm gonna keep clearing. Look at this huge piece. How big would you say this is?
That's
It's hard-
about at least 6 feet long.
Yes. I mean, what could this have been? I mean, you wonder if it was part of the old chateau, or are they steps?
It's hard to say. I mean, it would have been, it's similar to the ones, around the basement steps. It looks like it's not finished though, because the sides are rounded.
Lincoln's practical explanation isn't any fun, so this is when my imagination runs wild. Could they be megalithic stones placed here 7,000 years ago, just like the small northern town of Karnak here in Brittany? Probably not. They're most likely just really old granite steps. Too bad we can't cut them open and count the rings. I continued to clear despite my reality check. So I uncovered this other stone, which is smaller. But this is granite. these were steps of some sort. I just don't have the energy to uncover all this moss. But this would be great if we could incorporate these into, to reuse them in some capacity around the chateau. What we really need to do is have someone come and drag these out for us so we can get a proper look at them. I got a decent amount of the brambles cleared and these trees that are growing, thanks to my sickle. This is one of my favorite tools, and I love this. I sleep with it under my pillow, I take it everywhere I go, but it's a really great tool to have. I cleared most of this, what I could, just to reveal the stones. I count about 7 of them, and I believe that they were steps. I don't know where they could have come from. Perhaps the old chateau that was here. We'll never know, but what we can actually do is reuse them. What I'd like to do is take this stone and put it as a step into our park, because it's sort of a steep grade to climb up into the park, and I think it would be a nice addition and look natural and sort of fit in. So the next step is to have someone come and clear all this, get the stumps out for us. That way we'll have access to our roof. We're planning on installing solar panels. So that way this area will be nice and clear, and then we won't have to worry about the stumps growing and perhaps ruining the structure of the barn. And then maybe I can plant something nice here. It's an interesting find, and we'll never know where they came from, but they are granite, that we certainly know. Off I go. On weekends, it's nice to take a break from chateau chaos and head out to explore. The northern coast is captivating, even in the rain. I coerced Lincoln to join me with the drone to one of our favorite spots, Cap Frael, a spectacular peninsula with 2 lighthouses, one from the 17th century and the other built in 1950. It's no secret to my family that I'm slowly morphing into a crazy cat lady. Look at this kitty we spotted the other evening. I imagine word has gotten out in the community that we run a halfway house for wayward kitties. I do my part and try to feed the million birds that live on our property, but I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone and film my own nature video for my cats. If you're a cat, enjoy. If you're human, you can watch too. I wasn't sure how my homemade bird video would go over. This is a tough crowd. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.